That's episode number 6. What's up? Financial Masterclass, episode number 6, how to be your own banker, learning how money really works. What's up, Instagram, Facebook, and Davey Lowe here, coming to you live, Vero Beach. And today I wanted to talk about our financial masterclass and helping take control of your financial destiny. And today I wanted to share a strategy that I learned many years ago. And to be quite honest with you, it completely exploded my mind. I didn't really understand it initially, but it sounded intriguing enough for me to get on a plane and fly with some of my business partners over to Alabama and learn from the gentleman that actually created this concept, which is called the infinite banking concept. So if you are watching this on the live, smash a 1. If you're watching this on the replay, feel free to smash a 2 and buckle up, because we're going to drop some truth bombs that might help you get out of the rat race a lot faster than you ever thought. And one of the I'll just say it right up front, this is the greatest wealth building strategy my wife and I have ever learned and done. And it's not an investment, it's a process, and anybody can do it. Doesn't matter how much money you have, how much money you make, anybody can do this process. And it really just has to do with understanding how money works. And so if I were to ask you, where is the majority of money in the world? Where would you say? Feel free to put it in the comment section. Where is the majority of the money that we know, the cash that there is in the world? Where is it? And feel free to put it in the comment section. And I appreciate you, buddy. Good to see you, man. The majority of the money in the world is in the banks. That's where the majority is. And so most of us, we don't even really know how banks really work. We actually give our money, we deposit our money into checking accounts and savings account. And once we deposit it, we no longer control our money. We give our money to the bank. The banks actually now control it, and we become creditors to the bank. And what do they do with our money? They don't just keep it in the bank. They actually loan it out to people. They loan it out to people like you and I, and they earn interest on that money that they didn't even really own because we deposited. So they're making money on our money. So if you start thinking like a banker, thinking like a bank, you'll start to really understand how money works. And so think about all the interest that you and I are paying out there in the world. And appreciate you, Michael. Yeah, all the interest that we're paying out there, from our credit cards to our car loans to our mortgages, all the money that we're throwing out there is interest that we're paying, and it's money that is basically going to the banks. And so that's cool for the banks, but what if there was a way where we could actually keep the money in-house, and instead of giving all that money away, we can actually keep it in-house? And so when I flew out to Alabama and I learned this system, this process from the guy who created it, and I know there's a lot of people out there talking about it and a lot of people doing it, but here's what I've also come to find out. I've been doing this for many years, is that there's a lot of people that may understand the front end, but they don't understand the back end. If you're just using the tool, I'm gonna tell you about what the tool is, because there's a way of doing it, but you're not doing the back end. You can't just say it has to do with insurance. That's not infinite banking. That's just the part. That's just the beginning part of it. The back end is what's most important. And so, as I said, it's not an investment. And so as I'm sitting there listening to Nelson Nash, who wrote a book, if you've not read it yet, I highly recommend it. It's called Be Your Own Banker by Nelson Nash, the infinite banking concept. And it took me a couple of times reading it and then flying and listening to Nelson Nash to really understand how powerful this tool was. And so the process of keeping the money in your family, and I'm going to share with you a true life example of how my wife and I actually use this to turn what many would deem a depreciating asset like our car into an appreciating asset and using the infinite banking concept. And so I'm going to walk you through these slides. And again, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just sharing this philosophy, this process that's really helped my wife and I out. So if you're on the Instagram, you can go to my YouTube channel. We'll be uploading it so you can actually see the diagram, because it is kind of a visual thing that you want to be able to see to really understand it. I'll be uploading it later, but just get the idea. When I talked about the 5 questions of, are you on track to be a millionaire? The 5 questions that David Bach talked about. Question number 1 is, do you want to be a millionaire? Right? That's question number 1. If it's not on your radar, chances are, if you don't have the desire, chances are it's not going to happen. Do you want to be financially free? Do you want to build wealth? Question number 2 he asked is, do you pay yourself first? Do you pay yourself first? Do you have a system where you're actually putting money away, a minimum of 10%, maybe even more, putting it away for your retirement, putting it away so that your money is growing and you can't touch it? Some people may be putting into a pension. Some people put into a 401k. My wife and I, this is the only place that we personally pay ourselves first, is through our infinite banking concept. My good buddy Brett Kessler calls it the money multiplier, because you're learning how to multiply your money. And so the first thing is, okay, let's just say this is a strategy that you chose and that you're going to pay yourself first. And so what if there was a way for you to be able to start your own bank? Well, for most people, for most of us, this is impossible. It costs millions and millions of dollars. You got to get a charter. It takes years and years and years to start your own traditional bank. Well, what if there was a way where you can actually have a tool that starts your own bank? How much would you invest in your bank? How much money would you like to put in your bank? And so let's just say Yvette and I taking 10% of every money that we make every single month, and we put it into our bank. And in this financial tool in your bank, when you put that money into your bank, what if there was a way where you could earn a minimum of 4% guaranteed? 4% guaranteed. Now, you go put it in Bank of America or any of those banks, even credit unions, you're not even going to get 1%. Now, imagine being able to put it into your personal bank and getting 4% guaranteed on your money. How many of you would do that all day long? Of course, right? We'd rather get 4% than give it to somebody else. And now you're actually putting it into your bank. What if there's a way where you can build a whole system where instead of ever using credit cards or getting car loans or getting home loans, that you can go to the Bank of Ulloa or to the bank of insert your last name, and you could actually borrow money from your bank and earn interest and pay your bank, pay your family that interest versus paying that interest outside. And so how do you do that? Well, this is a real life example. My wife and I, many years ago, when we bought our BMW, really nice, back in 2014, we bought an X5 SUV BMW. And if I were to ask you, what is the best way to purchase a vehicle? For most, it's a depreciating asset. Some people might lease it. In my humble opinion, that is the worst way. It's because you're losing money. Then you got to give it back. And all these, it's the worst way. Why? Because that doesn't build any wealth. I know some of you might be saying, well, I get to write it off on my taxes. You're still wasting money when you're leasing a vehicle. Somebody else may say, well, I might actually get a loan on it. Okay, you get a loan on it. That's probably better than leasing it, because at the end of that loan, at least you have something, but it still becomes a depreciating asset. And you're actually paying interest every single month on a car. So it costs you way more than what you actually purchased it for. And a lot of people have to do that because they don't have the money to pay cash for their vehicle. Wait, what is another way? Third way. Let's just say car's going to cost you $79,000 and you had the cash and you wanted to pay cash for it. Okay, better than getting a loan, better than paying a lease, but at the same time, now you paid cash, and now that still becomes a depreciating asset, and you're still going to have to save up enough money. So for the next time in 4 or 5 years, some people get cars sooner. Now you're still going to have to purchase a car, and now you have a depreciating asset. Well, let's just say through this tool we're talking about, you had that $79,000 in your bank. And now instead of giving that loan or paying cash, you created a loan for, let's just call it Uloa Corporation for $79,000, and I charge 10%. Why would I charge 10%? Well, number one, I got to charge more than 4% of what I'm getting at the bank, but that 10% is coming back to me. So if I'm charging a percentage, but it's coming back to me, am I really concerned with how much of a percentage that is? Again, think about it from the banker perspective, charging 10%, paying $16.80 a month. And every month I'm paying the Bank of Uloa that month at that interest at 10%. Well, at the end of that loan, because Uloa Corporation, and there's all kinds of amazing tax benefits when you do this process, but now my corporation that borrowed that money from my bank, at the end of paying it off, that's $21,798 in interest that I would have paid to my bank. So our corporation gets to write that off. Okay, already some major benefits that are there. But now what do? The next thing is, well, we actually got to buy the car. So we took a loan from Uloa Corporation from the Bank of Uloa at 10%, and we take that $79,000 and we pay cash to the dealer, right? Pay cash to the dealer. And so now we're paying that every single month to the Bank of Uloa from our personal corporation as a business expense. So as we're repaying that car loan, 60 months, we put a loan together, 10%, 21,000 interest earned. So now the Bank of Uloa earned 21,798 interest. So not only did we get tax write-offs, but that depreciating asset also earned us interest at 21,000. See, for most people to get a car loan, where does that interest go? It goes to the bank. It goes to Bank of America. It goes to Wells Fargo. It goes to Citigroup. But see, it doesn't stop there. What happens next? Well, at the end of that, not only did we earn interest because we paid that interest to ourselves, not only did we get tax benefits, but now at the end, we still have the car. We still have the car that we made money on because of this process. And what do? Well, we took that car. We didn't need it anymore because we got another one, and we sold that car to somebody, and we sold that car, and they didn't have enough money to purchase it outright. So we created a loan, and we loaned them the money, and that money that we loaned them, we created a loan of $32,000, charged them 4% for 48 months. That was $575,000 per month, and $1,600 interest earned write-off plus interest earned into the Bank of Uloa. So, and that's just one piece to the puzzle. Imagine if you were able to wipe off your credit card debt, whatever percentage those are, and instead of paying the credit card, you're able to do that and keep it in-house. What if there was a way for you to do that with your mortgage? My family, my mother-in-law, are literally, we took over their mortgage and became the bank for their mortgage, and they're just about getting ready to pay it off, and it's all because of this infinite banking system. So you want to build wealth. Now the question is this: what is the actual tool, right? What is the tool to use in order to get that? Well, for those of you that this intrigued you even just a little bit, I'll put the link at the bottom that'll actually go through the exact whole process and system of how you can be your own banker through learning the infinite banking system, the money multiplier, to start multiplying your money. And for those of you that want to take it to the next level and see how this can actually work for you, after you watch the video, send me an email, send me a private message. I will introduce you to the #1 person in the entire country that not only understands it, but lives it and helps people set them up with the infinite banking concept. Again, it's not just about getting the tool, it's also on the back end. How do you use the whole system to put money back for you in the family? So warriorsandqueens.com/infinite banking, warriorsandqueens.com/infinite banking. Go to that website, put your email in, we'll get you that full video so that you can see it for yourself, and hook you up with a free strategy session and showing you how it can work for you. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you guys got some value. Comment in the comment section if you got some value, and love if you have any questions, feel free to comment in there as well. And appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon. Ciao, ciao.